BC 3. Conceived in Sand Valley, where there truly be no sand at all, was the man of sternum, clavicle, and mastoid. Unaware of where he ought to be. With his luck in his favor, he was found and by the large man of the island. It seemed to him that there was no meaning. He seeked answer after answer. They say, to find answers, you must ponder deeply on thought branch.
The sakuras have withered, perhaps it is truly time to finally ponder on the branch of thought.
He sat in silence for long. Perhaps too long. Unbeknownst to him, those who sit for long, will sit for even longer. Perhaps even millennia.
Those who say, do not know, and those who know, do not say. But I say, perhaps it is I who does not know, cursed for millennia I am. But indeed the plains seem simple, and can be grasped. Be like water they say, but I am truly cursed to be stone. Perhaps it is of character to be water, I know that I know nothing.
It had been many centuries. The sakuras came and went. In chaos he found order.
We suffer more in imagination than reality,
he said.
Perhaps he who is truly free, is he who is free from the inside.
The lad, though concerned, always knew this could happen. He turned away with a smile.
Is it not true that without pain, we may never know pleasure? Is it not true that without difficulty, we may never know easy? Perhaps the task here was not to withstand the curse, but to stop valuing the absence of the curse. After much sensory pleasure, it becomes dull. To seek more is to attempt to charm a bull with a flute. Why must one fear the absence of consciousness? For when there is none, why would you worry? If the usefulness of a pot comes from its emptiness, then those who seek to fill the void will never be content. For we are all creatures with insatiable desires. Where does anger and resentment come from? Perhaps a sense of injustice? Has it ever helped me? Indeed it hasn't. That is the very definition of insanity. Is it only yourself that you think about? Perhaps. What did the he who hurt you truly mean? How much is it that I have wasted trying to change the mind of other? For they are contending. It is truly out of my control. Doesn't trying to quarrel with he who does not know give him more opportunity to be discourteous? Perhaps one should let go of what is not under their control, and find joy of what is under their control. It seems, the bigger enemy is not he who is unjust, but the mind that I possess. Is it not true that it hurts me more than the one I intend to hurt? There is no solution to this other than stop hurting thyself.
The lad simply waited for the man. He waited for centuries to come.
If an aching limb is abnormal and must be cured, then shouldn't an aching mind be cured too? A big boulder is only heavy when one attempts to pick it up. Instead one must accept this boulder and move around it like water. He who thinks must also stop to appreciate what the world has to offer.
1003 AD. The branch, only weakened by the shackles of time, finally gave in. He simply knew it was time. The lad knew simply what to do. He was saved by the gentle arms. The lad, now out of his prime, invited sternocleidomastoid man for a fresh cup of tea.
Indeed,
said him. When he poured, he simply overfilled. The lad politely asked him to stop, but he merely replied,
just like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and thoughts.
Quite amusing. What other ways might you teach, dear sternocleidomastoid man?
I understand all the planes.
The Edward lad only watched in awe, for his understanding was truly vast. A somber braze rubbed his ears. The planes were revealed in
WELCON to the plane zone. Here, you may understand the planes, dear lad.
The planes were revealed, one by one. 6:16 AM it was. Each plane, harder than the last, but is understood by lad, through determination. He care not, for he is enlightened. You cannot disturb by HS pairs. He findeth pairs in suffering.
Dost thou understand?
Indeed.
The lad walked home with the lad after gaining his wisdom. The sternocleidomastoid man became a monumental sensation during his time in the curse. It was widely believed that it holds some kind of wisdom. One day, while meditating in his favorite field as a child, he was approached by a young man. It said his name was Fan.
I have numerous tales of you, oh, man of great to wisdom, I have so much to ask you.
Ask away, my friend.
said the sternocleidomastoid man.
Every thought is a torment to me.
He quietly whined. Thinking requires effort, and just like exercise, you must do it when required. You believe that the next moment will be important, so you prepare. You must stop living in a series of events that never happened or will. It will never make one happy. One must plan adequately, but when planning turns to fear, one must stop. Even the wild animal runs away from dangers that are present. It does not run away from dangers that are made up.
Lad thought to himself,
What the fuck are we even saying, and what the fuck is a fan?
The silent leaf listens on a transparent branch.
he then disappeared into the same mountains he came from, never to be seen again. The end. Chapter 1. Sand Valley 1003 AD.